responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Ball is it in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through we vein. We stand strong. Enemy on the road again. We are one. Every creed and every race. We stand strong. Together, no time to waste. We want
A new chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. We working together, we building together. Young will make it better. Side by side, we standing for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just so one. My sister, my brother, Bali's it in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through we vein. We stand strong, enemy on the road again. We are one, every creed and every race. We stand strong, and no time to waste.
Ready, show me who ready, show me who ready. This is the time, this is the place. The future is here, no time to waste. We build on the strength of those who trod this road before. Coming again, coming again. 'Cause I feel the light shining so bright in me heart and we soul. Red, black and white, together we strong. Come sun, come rain, 'cause it's blood in we veins. We all are the same. You don't know we red already. Things not set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we red already. The thing not set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Oh, just tell them we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. We under the same sky, feeling the same things. The movement is forward. We all want the same thing. Together we aspire, so we must achieve. Call the red army, the whole of TNT. So show them we red already. The thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we red already. The thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Oh, just tell them we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Fire in we soul, our nation so strong. Through the heart of a people, the victory is won. We fight for tomorrow, we fight for today. Stand strong together, blow the evil away. If we are one, the victory is sure. Divide and rule, we don't want that no more. Clean heart, clean hands, His love to the core. And if love is the word, how about that we show? You don't know. So tell them you're red already. The thing is set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we red already. The thing that's set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Oh, just tell them we all in. Oh, tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we red and ready. The thing that's set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. No.
Be all in for TNT on April 28th. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Calling out all our we friends and family with love for TNT. From the mountain top to the valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. We working together, we building together. Young will make it better. Side by side, we standing for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just so one. My sister, my brother, Bali's it in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one. We stand strong. We are one. We stand strong. Together, no time to waste.
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. On April 28th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Can you really trust the UNC? The last time Kamla and the Cabal were in charge, they destroyed your energy sector. They failed to renew critical gas contracts and lied about production levels. They made bad deals and sold out TNT. The last time the UNC won, you lost billions of US dollars. If the UNC wins, you lose billions. We know how this movie ends. Make the last time on April 28th. Reject the UNC.
Again.
Hey! Oh, na na na. Red and ready, here we all. Yeah! Red and ready, here we all. Calling all the Red Army. Red and ready, here we all. Yeah! We all. Oh, na na na. Red and ready, here we all. Calling all the Red Army. Red and ready, here we all. Trinidad and Tobago. Red and ready, here we all. Yeah! We all. Yeah! We red and ready now. Calling the Red Army. Calling out all of we friends and family with love for TNT. From the mountain top to the valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. B&M, we working together, we building together. Young will make it better. B&M, side by side together, we standing together for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just for one. My sister, my brother, man is it in your hand. B&M is the plan, red and ready, hold it steady. B&M's we all in. One blood flowing through we vein. We all in. Red Army on the road again. We all in. Every creed and every race. We all in. Together, no time to waste. We all in. From Frederick Street to Boko Reef. We all in. The policy is what we need. We all in. Tell them this and say it plain. We all in. The B&M we need again. We all in. Taking it to the streets, wherever we meet. We talking to everyone all over the country. The message is loud and clear. We want you to volunteer, spreading the word. Country before party. B&M, sun or rain, together we remain together. We're gonna make things better. B&M, young and old, together standing tall. Together, this is a new chapter. Together we standing, all tribes intertwined. Working together, we all in the line. Let's do this together, your future and mine. Red and ready, hold it steady. B&M's we all in. One blood flowing through we vein. We all in. Red Army on the road again. We all in. Every creed and every race. We all in. Together, no time to waste. We all in. From Frederick Street to Boko Reef. We all in. The policy is what we need. We all in. Tell them this and say it plain. We all in. The B&M we need again. We all in. Red and ready, here we all. Yeah. Red and ready, here we all. Trinidad and Tobago. Red and ready, here we all. Yeah. We all. Yeah. We red and ready now. B&M, we working together, we building together. We gonna make things better. B&M, side by side together, we standing together for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just for one. My sister, my brother, man is it in your hand. B&M is the plan, ready, hold it steady. B&M's we all in. One blood flowing through we vein. We all in. Red Army on the road again. We all in. Every creed and every race. We all in. Together, no time to waste. We all in. From Frederick Street to Boko Reef. We all in. The policy is what we need. We all in. Tell them this and say it plain. We all in. The B&M we need again. We all in. One blood flowing through we vein. We all in. Red Army on the road again. We all in. Every creed and every race. We all in. Together, no time to waste. We all in. From Frederick Street to Boko Reef. We all in. The policy is what we need. We all in. Tell them this and say it plain. We all in. The B&M we need again. We all in. Calling out all our we friends and family with love for TNT. From the mountain top to the valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. We working, we standing for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just so one. My sister, my brother, Balize in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through we vein. We stand strong and we on the road again. We are one, every creed and every race. We stand strong together, no time to
A new chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Can you really trust the UNC? The last time Kamla and the cabal were in charge, they squandered $24 billion in cash and ran up a $9 billion overdraft at the Treasury. All this while energy revenues went from $17 billion to $1 billion. The last time they won, you lost the Treasury. We know how this movie ends. Let's make the last time the last time. On April 28th, reject the UNC.
Again.
Welcome to Tobago East, the cultural capital of Trinidad and Tobago. Don't let anybody fool you. Tobago East is where culture is. If you want beautiful beaches, beautiful scenery, if you want a good reel and jig, you had to come to Tobago East. That is where I live. This is where I serve. I'm inviting you on this journey with me.
Be delivered. Team PNM delivered. Be delivered to the people of Tobago and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We delivered projects. We invested in our children, in our infrastructure, in healthcare, in education, and social support. And we never abandon the vulnerable.
So I'm here standing up at the Cocoa Peace water supply, where over the years this would have been supplying the residents of Upper Belly. Behind me what you're seeing is some additional tanks, about 6,000 gallon tanks that she would have provided about a year or two ago to improve the water supply for the people up here. And for that we are grateful, we are eternally thankful for her intervention. And we hope that as residents that we could continue to work with her in the future.
Responding to the needs of constituents, so for example in Charlottesville, Bel Air in particular, working with the residents there, collaborating with them to ensure that we got some water in the area, and the construction of the tank farm, ensuring that they got the required sizes to expand the water storage capacity for the community, as well as the refurbishment and reconstruction of the Roxborough Fire Station. If we talk about Mariah, where the residents would have advocated long and hard for a new health center, and one was constructed there for them. So there have been many deliverables throughout the constituency, and the work continues. My representation might not have been loud, but it has been deliberate. It has been purpose-driven, and it has, at the heart of it, I've always aimed to serve my constituents with integrity and to deliver to them with pride, because I understand what it is to be Tobago East and what it is to be a Tobago East that is developing. But most importantly, I understand what it is to be a Tobago East that deserves quality representation. And that is what I would have delivered over the years.
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Hey! Oh, na na na. We built this on a strong foundation. This is a new chapter. Yeah, yeah.
Hi, my name is Mukesh Ramsey. Welcome to the constituency of Claxton Bay, formerly known as Pointe-a-Pierre. I am your candidate for the PNM for Claxton Bay constituency, and I'm proud to be standing in the heart of Claxton Bay right now in this fishing depot, where constituents and families gather here to get their fresh fish daily. Claxton Bay is also known for its wide sporting development, as we are home to the Maniranjam Stadium, where families can go and exercise and also take a look at all the national events that takes place there. Claxton Bay is also known for its diverse business entities, from small to medium, as we are just a stone's throw away from the Trinidad and Tobago Cement Limited.
My sister, my brother, Balize in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one blood
I'm supporting Mukesh Ramsingh because he sees us, the youth, not just as the future, but in all aspects of our present. He advocates for our community and he believes that the people are the purpose. I'm all in.
Mukesh is a community man, a man of the people, a man who is willing to serve you, us, in Claxtonby. Without a doubt, I believe if given the opportunity, Mukesh will be an excellent parliamentary representative for us, the people of Claxtonby.
Who is Mukesh Ramsingh? Mukesh Ramsingh is a family man. I've been a family man for most of my adult life. I am a sportsman. I've been in sports since a very tender young age, representing both my secondary school and primary schools in cricket, football and basketball. I'm a businessman, and through my business dealings I've become the president of the Couva Point Lisa's Chamber of Commerce, most recently for the last 3.5 years, serving the business community. And I look forward to taking all my experiences to come and serve you, the people of Claxtonby constituency, so we can make this constituency a bigger and brighter Claxtonby.
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Calling out all our way, friends and family with love for TNT. From the mountaintop to the valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. We working, we building, young will make it better. Side by side, we standing for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just so one, my sister, my brother. Balize in your hand, PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through within. We stand strong and we on the road again. We are one, every creed and every race. We stand strong together, no time to quit.
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Calling out all our way, friends and family with love for TNT. From the mountaintop to the valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. We working, we building, young will make it better. Side by side.
I'm Curtis Forrester, past student at Moruga Secondary School, and I proudly endorse Lisa Atwater to be the next Member of Parliament for Moruga Tableland. At my time at Moruga Secondary School, she has been a mentor, she has been a guiding role in the life of all young people, and I urge you young people of Moruga Tableland to join forward and share and be a part of this experience as we take Moruga Tableland forward. On April 28th, vote Lisa Atwater for Moruga Tableland.
Together we standing, all tribes intertwined. Working together, we all in the line. Let's do this together, your future and mine. Ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through within. We stand strong and we on the road again.
Welcome to the constituency of Moruga Tableland. We may be rural in location, but we are big on heritage. We are big on diversity. We are big on harmony. We are big on respect for each other. We are diverse. We have diverse population, diverse religions, cultural backgrounds, and all of those qualities going to making us the unique melting pot that we are. I am proud to be a product of this rich cultural heritage that is Moruga Tableland. So I've walked the corridors of this institution all my life. I've been here for 30+ years. I know the students, their parents, I know the priests, the fishermen, the agriculturists, I know their hopes, I know certainly aware of the challenges, and I just want to be part of the solution. The solution of being all in for Trinidad and Tobago and all in for Moruga Tableland constituency. Youth development and training, entrepreneurship, and a host of other services that will help improve our quality of life.
My name is Mrs. Antonia Nabi. I will be endorsing Lisa Atwater, the candidate for Moruga Tableland as our candidate. The reason why is because Lisa Atwater is a daughter of the soil, born in Madingo Road, and she came to Moruga over 30 years now, serving at Moruga Composite as an educator. So I think that given this opportunity to serve Moruga Tableland, Lisa will be the best candidate. I endorse her for the Moruga Tableland because at Moruga Tableland constituency, it will be better with Atwater.
Working together, we all in the line. Let's do this together, your future and mine. Red and ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through we vein. We stand strong.
So folks, where do we go from here? What do we want for our future? I am not merely asking for your vote. I am asking you to believe. Believe in a better tomorrow. Let's go all in. All in for Moruga Tableland. All in for Trinidad and Tobago.
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Do you remember the last UNC-led coalition? The UNC PRO Kirk Megu said that coalitions in Trinidad and Tobago have a tendency to implode under the weight of their internal contradictions. The leader of NJAC publicly denounced corruption in the government that he helped to form. The OWTU leader, Ansel Roger, publicly savaged the UNC and vowed to get her out of office. The MSJ severed ties with the People's Partnership. How can you trust Kamla and her cabal to manage a country when they cannot even manage their party? We know how this movie ends. Let's make the last time the last time. On April 28th, reject the UNC.
Again.
Calling out all our way, friends and family with love for TNT. From the mountaintop to the valley low, everywhere we go, country before party. We working, we building, young will make it better. Side by side, we standing for our nation's future. This is a movement we all in together, not just so one, my sister, my brother. Balize in your hand, PNM is the plan. Red and ready, hold it steady. We are one blood flowing through we vein. We stand strong, and we on the road again. We are one, every creed and every race. We stand strong, together, no time to
New chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
The constituency of Toko Sani Grande is widely known as a rural constituency. It is a beautiful constituency. It's known for the warmth and love of our people. It's known for our beaches, our rivers, our trails, our fauna and flora. But most importantly, we are also known as a very resilient group of people who are located in these northeastern communities.
Roger Monroe is a worker. Roger Monroe comes from the belly of the grassroots. That's why I support him.
I know my child growing up, and I think he done a very good job. And also he see about his community. He's a man that people call anytime he wants until his phone. And also he's a man that will always share something with somebody.
Roger Monroe has demonstrated over the last 4 years and a half, even for a community member, that discipline and commitment, that ability to listen to people and maturity to deal with the situation. And that's why I support Roger Monroe, because he demonstrates what we at PNM have, discipline, maturity, and getting the job done.
My vision for Toko Sani Grande is hinged on the past representation that I would have been able to give to the constituency from 2020 to present. It is my dream to bring this constituency of Toko Sani Grande to the level of the urban communities, but not removing the rural aspect of the love, the warmth, the appreciation and togetherness of the people. Meaning that I intend to work tirelessly to be a constituency on par with urban communities, having all the amenities and having all that is necessary. Some of the projects that has already been started and ongoing, the Ojo Road Recreation Ground upgrade, the Sangre Grande indoor facility, the Sangre Grande swimming pool in Supram village. Also ongoing is the development and full construction of the Shark River Bridge in Matlock, the Long Bridge in Grand River. We have many retaining walls in the Montevideo and various communities along the North Coast and in Matlock, ongoing roadworks and development as well. The works that is intended to be completed soon of the new Churchill Roosevelt Highway extension into Sangre Grande. Toco Sangre Grande has seen a large increase in housing development, and it has also encouraged persons from outside to come into our constituency. We have ongoing works to the Toco Lighthouse, and we intend to see much more development in the local tourism aspect. One of the mega projects that would have been completed 2020 to present is our brand new Sangre Grande Hospital Campus, 106-bed, state-of-the-art, fully equipped hospital for the people of Toco Sangre Grande and environs. We have also seen the construction of over 200 plus starter homes, completely free for the beneficiary and vulnerable families, spanning from Valencia all the way heading into the North Coast, going up to Matlock. The fishing community on the coast could expect in upcoming projects the development and construction work being done to the Matlock fishing facility, to the Grand River fishing facility, to the Kumana fishing facility, the Toco.
PNM family. PNM family. Are there any people here from Laventille tonight? In his absence, he is due to spend some time with here tonight, some time with the people of Laventille East, Mova, and Laventille West, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Stuart Richard Young, Senior Counsel. Our speakers on tonight's platform, whom I will introduce to you in a short time. Party officers, members of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, members of the constituency executives of both Laventille East Mova and Laventille West, the chairman of the Sawa Laventille Regional Corporation, Mr. Richard Walcott, and members of the council of the Sawa Laventille Regional Corporation, and of course, a lady who is no stranger to the People's National Movement, who is at each meeting night after night after night after night. I think some of you need to take some fashion advice from this young lady, the matriarch of the People's National Movement, Mrs. Joan Yule Williams. Specially invited guests, members of the media, members of the PNM family, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chinua Alain, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's national public meeting, this meeting of the movement in the heartland of the PNM, right here in Success Laventille Secondary School. This election is an important election. It is important because the PNM, with the support of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, is about to write a bold new chapter. We are about to continue transforming the governance of this country for a stronger, safer, and more prosperous Trinidad and Tobago. On the night of April 28th, we will be celebrating victory once again as the people of Trinidad and Tobago will join us in being red, will join us in being ready, and will join us in being responsible. So tonight, we have a battery of speakers that are here to speak to you, to let you know about the vision of the PNM. And our first speaker tonight is a new standard bearer for the constituency of Laventille East Mova. He is a proud son of Coconut Drive Mova and has built a successful career as an engineer. He is a devoted husband and a father of two, and deeply invested in creating a better future for the people of his community. Ladies and gentlemen, your next Member of Parliament has a focus on opportunities for all, safer communities, and a stronger future. Please put your hands together and welcome your next Member of Parliament for Laventille East Mova, Mr. Christian Birchwood.
Sleeping time. Sleeping time. Sleeping time. I was in the laboratory when somebody showed me him. Somebody said, better not today. The boss could take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud, going to the
Love. Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Chinua the Mayor. In his absence, Honorable Stuart Young, SC, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and soon to be the returning Member of Parliament for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, and the outgoing Member of Parliament for Laventille West, other members of the Cabinet present, members of party leadership, Ms. Joan, Auntie Joan, Mr. Kareem Marcel, candidate for Laventille West and soon to be Member of Parliament, Youth Speaker, all right. Fellow candidates present, members of the media and those listening online, members of the protective services, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my Laventille East Mova posse. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I want a unified Laventille Raw tonight. Let me hear it. Unified. West and East. Good evening, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself, not just to Laventille, but to Trinidad and Tobago. I stand before you today, not because life was easy, but because I chose not to give up. I was just 2 months old when my mother left, and my father basically absent. However, I was taken in by two elderly heroes, my great aunt and her husband, who not only raised me,
but also became my family. They raised a community. Their generosity saw no bounds. At one point, there were 17 of us in one home. That many children with nowhere to go. But somehow we found love, family, and hope. We didn't have much, as you can imagine, but we had each other. And sometimes, that's more than enough to light a fire in your soul. Life tested me early. At 14, I was mixing concrete on construction sites to fund schooling. My hands were cracked and calloused, but my spirit stayed whole. Some said I wouldn't make it, thought I was wasting my time, but I didn't believe them. I couldn't believe them. I had a dream that was way too big to die, and a fire in me that no struggle could smother. I didn't want just to survive, I wanted to thrive. Not just for me, but for every child who has ever felt forgotten. I pressed on, and I pressed on, I pressed and I pressed and I pressed on. I finished my secondary school, Southeast Port of Spain, big up Southeast. This became my second home after completing my primary school education at Mova Anglican School. I went to the University of Trinidad and Tobago, where I completed my National Engineering Technician's Diploma in Mechanical Engineering at the legendary John Donaldson Technical Institution campus. I went on to complete my bachelor's degree in Utilities Engineering, specializing in mechanical. I worked in the library systems while I studied part-time for many, many, many years, following which I entered the oil and gas industry at Kenson Production, delivering value to their clients, likes of Heritage Petroleum, BPTT, Shell, just to name a few. I operated as an operations coordinator and a mechanical engineer, always learning and always building. Today, I am a mechanical engineer, a husband, a father of a 4-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy, a man of faith, hope, and belief only in possibilities. My wife and I chose to make our life in Rosewood Avenue, Coconut Drive. I didn't run from Mova. I rooted myself deeper because I believe in the community, because it raised me. This story, my story, is the story of many of us, and it's only one chapter in the greater book of Laventille Mova. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand together, ready to elevate Laventille Mova. We are all in for TNT, and with possibilities only, we will transform our community. For too long, we have allowed others to define who we are. With narrow views and tired stereotypes. But at all of this today, it ends right now. It ends now. Our challenges don't define us. Our strength, our character, and our unity do. I heard the leader of the opposition speak recently, talking about blood in the streets. Blood in the streets, imagine that. Trying to paint Laventille with one brush. That narrative is biased, unfair, and disrespectful. Yes, we do have issues. We do have issues. Because one life lost is one too many. But don't brand our entire community. You cannot do that. The lights are here. The lights are here. Life is here. And there's a legacy here. Too often the media focuses only on the struggles and not the strengths. I say to every young person, every elder, every parent, every grandparent, every uncle, every aunt, cousin, sibling, neighbor, stand tall. Stand proud. Reject the false stories. Reject the naysayers. Reject the opposition. Reject the opposition. Let's elevate our voices and change the narrative. Let's make it plain. Let me make it plain here tonight. When I say elevate, I want you to say Laventille. Let me elevate. Let's elevate. I'm on a constraint here tonight. What I will do is end this story for now. There's a lot more to be told. But for now, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall prevail.
That was your next Member of Parliament for Laventille East Mover. Please put your hands together for Mr. Christian Birchwood. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious business. What we are about here tonight is very, very serious business. And our next speaker is a man who is about serious business. He was first elected to the House of Representatives in 1995 and served for 12 years as the Member of Parliament for Laventille East Mover. An attorney at law by profession, he served in opposition between 1995 and 2001, and he served in government from 2002 to 2007 as Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security and in the Ministry of Trade and Industry under then Prime Minister Patrick Manning. He was appointed an opposition senator in the 10th Republican Parliament in 2010 and returned to the lower house in 2015, this time as the Member of Parliament for Laventille West. He has served as Minister of Works and Transport, Minister of Public Utilities, Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs, Minister of Youth Development and National Service, Minister of National Security, and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is no stranger to all of you in both Laventille East Mover and Laventille West, and he is here tonight to address all of us on the serious issues that are facing us as people of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines.
My friend, I in a good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes right up to the limits. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah. Good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes ain't cars in a minute. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I too must acknowledge, even in his absence, the Honorable Stuart Young, Member of Parliament, outgoing for Port of Spain North St. Anne's West, Senior Counsel, and now, properly and proudly, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. First Citizen, Alderman Chinua Alain, Mayor of the City of Port of Spain, and of course in your capacity as Master of Ceremonies here tonight. Join me in recognizing the PNM's brand new standard bearers, Laventille East Mova and Laventille West, who have been identified by this great party to carry on the work that those of us who toiled in the vineyard had started and carried on, as indeed we followed others. Let us applaud and welcome these two young brothers again, expressing our admiration, our prayer, and our support for them, because they will quickly discover that this business is no walk in the park. Mr. Richard Walcott, Chairman of the San Juan Laventille Regional Corporation, all councillors, other members of council, members of the executive of both the Laventille East Mova and Laventille West constituencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I've been asked to address you for a few moments tonight on the serious business of that which is in front of us. The UNC has, and I must admit, a wonderful piece of music, but Hotel California is nice music too by dealing with drugs. The UNC have a nice song, and the theme is When UNC Wins. Well, for me, on the basis of my close observation of the UNC, their track record, when the UNC wins, is bubble, thief, took, take, false paper, victimization, racism. They are a shame and disgrace to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. As a matter of fact, the UNC ain't win yet, and Pare lose, Anita lose, Rodney lose, Jai lose, the Mahasaba lose, Dignity lose, Integrity lose, and they win yet. And that is why we, the People's National Movement, who have been identified by the people of Trinidad and Tobago as the true and real and only national party, must stand in the gap and ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago are once again protected from them. And there are a multiplicity of reasons why you, every one of you in this room, and all of the thousands of people across Trinidad and Tobago watching this meeting tonight, will vote for the PNM in the upcoming election. They will vote, you will vote, and give us a third term, because one good term, two good terms deserves another. But more than that, you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you know us. You know we from morning. You know Dr. Williams. You know Mr. Chambers. you know Mr. Manning, you know Dr. Rowley, and now you know the young, energetic Stuart Richard Young. You know you voted for us. And we, the PNM, are thankful that you have placed your trust and confidence in us to the extent that for the independent life of this nation, as an independent country, you have voted and put us in office 84% of the time. 84%. You know, when we are in government, your treasury is safe. You know that we are not for sale. As a Minister of Works and Transport, I had reason one morning to call the Prime Minister and tell him a man offered me a bribe of a watch valued at $78,000 US. As I threw him out of my office, I called the Prime Minister and I told him that. And he told me certain pertinent things. The bottom line of all of that was, he said, Fitz, if people like you sell your soul to people like him for things like that, we will not be worth the respect of those who voted us into office. We are not perfect. We have made mistakes along the way. Only God is perfect. And we know, you know, we can't please everybody every time. But you know our standards. You know what we aim to. And you have observed in the last 10 years, not a single minister in the government has been justifiably and with a sustainable argument proved or pointed out any corruption against any one of us. And as you know, corruption is a major issue in economies around the world, including Trinidad and Tobago. You had 2 terms of the UNC between 1995 and 2001, and between 2010 2015 and an extra 3 months. Remember that? They have a track record, Trinidad and Tobago. So what we say from these platforms is not speculation. It is not conjecture. It is not old talk. We ask that you judge us by our record, and by all means, judge Kamla Prasad Bisesa and her band of crooks on their record. Well, unfortunately, somebody say we're supposed to jail them. I was a police. If I was a police, still I'd lock up everyone. But I don't have them powers. I don't have that power. That is for somebody else. In 2001, they corrupted themselves out of office. And in 2015, they corrupted themselves out of office even more spectacularly. And you must be reminded, Trinidad and Tobago, about Clause 34, action taken to give a free pass to those who are accused and charged for criminal offenses. You remember life sport. You remember the EMBD issue where a matter of days before they left office, election was Monday. Within the last 2 weeks of their leaving office, they borrowed and disbursed 400 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars to people for work that was even never done. You see her? You go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, PNM family, somebody just arrived to Laventille. Somebody just arrived to Laventille. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Please join me in welcoming
to this PNM meeting in the heartland of PNM country. Join us in welcoming our Honorable Prime Minister, the person who is going to lead us into victory, the person who is ready and responsible, a man who is about to write a new chapter for Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to this meeting in Success Laventille, the Honorable Stuart Richard Young, Senior Counsel. He has a vision for Trinidad and Tobago. He will ensure that dignity and morality in public affairs is at the front burner of the government's agenda. He will write a whole new chapter. He will transform the governance of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, your Prime Minister and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Stuart Richard Young.
People of different background, confusion, fear, set ground, shaking like an earthquake. But everyone was fine, it wasn't hot, girl,
Thank you all very much for that warm welcome for our Prime Minister. Prime Minister, if I wasn't a PNM, I'd afraid the PNM. Yes, the PNM is a mightyful force. A mightyful force. Imagine that lady tell us she purged the UNC. And Big Munilal still stuck in the UNC's large intestine. She purged the UNC, but David Lee, Hugh Longpoy, Handbag Pararat, and all of them still lurking. Don't let them fool you. Nothing had changed. Nothing had changed. We saw them for 2 terms and we know who they are. The UNC remains unfit to lead this country. Unfit. I told a man yesterday, as I tell you tonight, I hear them criticizing our government and talking about the last 10 years. I want to put on public record, I am not ashamed. I have nothing to be ashamed about. The People's National Movement managed the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago in the most difficult times, and we fared pretty well inside of it. Nothing to be afraid, nothing to be ashamed about. Understand that. 2008, I was there watching the international banking system collapse. CLICO, CIB, major conglomerate with about 25% of the GDP, they said at the time, collapsed. This government moved in, bailed it out, made Trinidad and Tobago's economy safe. Of course, from 2015 to 2020, I, as a Minister of Works, we all took a 7% cut. The major job when we came to office was to stabilize the economy, and we did that. And right after that, we went back to government with your support, and we were faced with the pandemic, COVID-19, and right behind that, severely fluctuating and depressing oil and gas prices. And we are a gas economy, so when the price of oil and gas go down, we were losing income, losing revenue. And we had difficult times, and as you would have heard the Prime Minister Young say, we had serious decisions to make, and we made them. And Trinidad and Tobago came through better than many more developed countries around the globe. And we did it with your support. And I think you should give yourselves a round of applause, because every one of you shared the burden with us. What did we do? We decided to suppress expenditure, because just like your household budget, if your income is X and you're spending more than X, you have a problem. So we decided to suppress expenditure. That touched wage negotiations too. We say we couldn't give you what you wanted. It would bankrupt the economy. Reasonable people understood that. I sat in the cabinet, asked Dr. Brown, especially asked Prime Minister Young, and watched the cabinet behave like my grandmother used to, penny pinching, making sure we don't waste a penny on nothing. Ministers come to cabinet, the bill might be bloated a bit, and when chairman of the FNGP, Stuart Young, take a Chinese chopper, take a pen, and he start to go through, so it come down to something more realistic, penny pinching of the highest order. No governmental corruption, none. Businessmen tell me, when we came to office, no more did they have to fine 30 and 40% to pay no minister. That was a thing of the past. We avoided the IMF. And then they criticize us about Venezuela, but I think Prime Minister Young, former Prime Minister Rowley, ought to be saluted and applauded by this country for the genuine efforts they made to find a gas supply when our gas reserves show signs of depleting from our mature fields. And all they did was to go hither, thither, and yon, trying to find a stream of gas to keep Point Lisas going. Because Point Lisas is the major breadbasket income earner for Trinidad and Tobago. Without that, your standard of living is at risk. All the nice life you're accustomed to is at serious risk. And therefore, all I could do is commend them. And while all of that was going on, is development evermore. Valencia to Toko Highway, Curep Interchange, I'm only reminding you all, because the alternative is the chaos and corruption of the UNC. Diego Martin Health Center, Roxborough, Point 14, Grandi, Arima, and Port of Spain Central Block. All of this happened in the tightest of circumstances. Red House restored. We were in the waterfront. We're back in the Red House now. Meal flares around the Savannah. Stallmeyer Castle, President's House. Right now the cabinet meets in Whitehall again. We fixed that. Of course, new Brian Lara Stadium restored, new government campus on Richmond Street, new immigration building, new inland revenue building, new Ministry of Education block, San Fernando waterfront project. Serious work from national security, St. Joseph Police Station, Roxborough Police Station, Maracas Police Station, Besor Street, Caranage Police Station, building evermore. in the hardest of times. We reopened the Barataria station, the Brasso station, the Moriah station, and San Rafael next. I watched children in the Laventille pool. That wasn't there. As we put that there. Mova pool. Pool in Maloney. For we. Diego Martin Shopping Complex. The Moruga Multipurpose Sporting Complex. Mahaika Ovals, New Skinner Park. Maracas Beach Improvement. Moruga Agro and Light Industrial Manufacturing Facility. All of that, you people of Trinidad and Tobago listening to this meeting, remember that in the toughest of economic times. And all of that meant new economic activity with the multiplier effect, jobs created for the construction, and of course the businesses that will stay there. Laventille and the East-West Corridor, I want to tell you something. The UNC have a campaign that the PNM Black Party did nothing for you black people. You couldn't get a bigger and dirtier lie. The first question you have to ask yourself, if the PNM did not do for you, who did? Who did? But they're running that narrative, and they're almost telling you that things bad and you're hard up, a negative kind of narrative to get you down. And of course, they are paying some of us. They are paying some of us 30 dirty pieces of silver to run propaganda campaigns to tell you that you are so badly off and the PNM did nothing for you. But I always say in Laventille, this school right here in Success Village was put here by the PNM. Thousands of people passed through this school. And we have had great successes from it. I'll tell you something, the education system that we put in place. There's a young lady called Jamila Harris, came out of Mova by you know, but she's inside of the campaign supporting it. She's probably somewhere here tonight. She won a national scholarship from this school. She went to Bishops. She beat them and got the President's Medal there. She won an open scholarship. She went and did actuarial science, and then she went on to do a PhD at Cambridge in developmental economics, all on the basis of the PNM's educational opportunity for all. And she's only one. There are many. I had a young lady from Village Council Street came to me. I saw her. I worked closely with her. Today, Liana Williams Andrews is a medical doctor practicing at Mount Hope in the last 5-6 years. And don't talk about young Sachel Critchlow, her father up and down here tonight, championing the greatness of the PNM. She never comes second in tests yet. From primary school, secondary school, she beat them all the way through. She too won an open national scholarship. And she's now in Ireland pursuing a study in medicine. Give her your love and a round of applause. And not everybody will be a doctor or a lawyer or an actuarial scientist. But I'll tell you something, every one of us is blessed with some talent, some gift, some skill. And the system we have in Trinidad allows every one of us an opportunity to be the best that we could be. But as you heard earlier from Mr. Birchwood, and you will hear from Mr. Marcel, with all of that, it requires some personal effort. It requires some personal energy. It requires some personal sacrifice. And it is all possible. $80,000 laptops. I hear them talking about laptops. We will give you a laptop. Well, we're doing that long time. 80,000 of them. No VAT on uniforms. Children, free bus rides. universities available. I'm telling you, man, we did the business. And you see this school? It produced Kieran Pollard. Akil Hossein lived not too far around the corner from here. The top T20 bowler in the world attended this school and lived around the corner from here. Akil Hossein. Kerry Pierre also came out of this school, and many, many more. Many, many more. This community produced a former chief of defense staff or two, produced deputy commissioners of police, produced 2 ACPs of police. One of them, I saw him here tonight, Mr. Terry Young. Give him a round of applause. Right here. On one street, on Village Council Street, alone in Laventille, 2 doctors, 3 attorneys at law, and a young man called Nathaniel who just came out of UE with a top-class degree in actuarial science too. You think we easy? PNM education system. So I'm not taking no nonsense from them. Whether in every field, well, don't talk for housing. There are many of us who would not have had a house to call our own had it not been for sound PNM housing policy. And we building them and we distributing them. This is what we have done, and this is what we are doing. We have a crime problem though. We have a crime problem. And we instituted, just as the time ticks, we instituted a state of emergency in order to protect some of us from ourselves. I am in a position to say tonight, I believe, not believe, it is a fact, regardless of what Munilal and the rest of them say. The state of emergency reduced the murders in this country by about 31-32%. That's a fact. We recovered more firearms during the state of emergency than we ordinarily would. There was increased, intensified policing activity, which is the thing that is necessary. We brought down the murder figure to that extent, and the police have given the assurance that they will continue to hold the fort to keep the thing down. And some of those 30% reduction may very well have been some of those who were engaged in the fighting because it was gangland thing. I remember when we discussed it right here in Prisgalan, one morning, I think it was a Sunday morning, 5 people were killed in a place in Prisgalan where I grew up, right up the hill from here. And it is at that point we decided we couldn't let these warring factions in their empty ignorance continue bloodletting and creating mayhem in the society. We imposed a state of emergency, and we have no regrets about that. 5,192 police operations. We targeted 3,561 priority offenders, people known to the police. Conducted 36,368 searches across Trinidad and Tobago, vehicles and premises. And 1,590 persons were charged. Brothers and sisters, time has run. But I want to tell you before I close that you on April the 28th have a serious choice to make. Every one of you in this room, we know where you stand. You're PNM and you're proud, like we. But for you listening in Trinidad and Tobago, this is no joke. We have seen the UNC and we have seen the long, illustrious years of service by the People's National Movement to this country. And the choice on April the 28th is obviously yours. And if I were you, well, in fact, I know who I'm voting for. But if I were you, I will join the majority of decent, right-thinking people in Trinidad and Tobago and vote resoundingly for the People's National Movement. And when Esmond Ford lick down the empty Musselman in Tunapuna politically. When Christian Birchwood conquer a little upstart in Laventille, East Mova. When Kareem Marcel mercilessly joined me the same fellow who going for the UNC in Laventille West, he came twice before, like the man have a sickness for licks. I beat him once, I beat him twice, and now young Kareem is going to go and cut his tail again. And today I drove past the constituency, well, the headquarters, the Prime Minister's campaign headquarters in Belmont, Prime Minister. The thing looked glorious. I stopped my car. I meditated for a while. I said a prayer. I continue to ask God's greatest blessings upon you. And when you beat that UNC upstart in Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, and we gather all the PNM seats around the country, and we march with a mighty PNM army to Balize House in celebration of a great victory, in celebration of defending the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And together as always, from 1956 to today, we will all in unison say, great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. We must be great.
My friend, I in a good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes right up to the limits. So don't be down, don't fight me down. Yeah. Good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes ain't cast in a minute. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah. My friend and them couldn't tell you about me. Good people is good people.
Is anybody from the PNM in a good spirit tonight? Is Laventille in a good spirit tonight? Well, I in a good spirit too. And I know those on the other side, they in a good different kind of spirit. Not the kind of spirit that we in. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me, of course, to recognize in our presence tonight the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. the Honorable Amory Brown. Permit me as well to recognize the party's elections officer, Mr. Indar Parasram, the party field officer, operations officer, Miss Irene Hines, and of course, our national campaign manager, deputy political leader for party and election matters, Mr. Rohan Sinanan. How will you find the thing going? It going nice? I think it's going nice. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is only 30 years of age. He hails from the community of Beetham Gardens, Laventille. Where the Beetham team? He is an attorney at law, the holder of a Bachelor of Laws from the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. a legal education certificate from the Hugh Wooding Law School, a past student of Trinity College in Mocha, and the first recipient of UWI's Macandal Dagger Scholarship. My colleague on the Council of the City of Port of Spain, where is Team Kareem? Where is Team Kareem? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the platform tonight your next Member of Parliament for the constituency of Laventille West. He will soon be sitting in the Parliament in the Red House in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Please welcome to the platform Kareem. Kareem Marcel.
And everything what we talk about, so look out for bad mind friend. Enough time is a life and feel look how much good people life in. So me have to tell every ghetto you, might be unrevealed. Cause them say me nah go nowhere, you don't nah go make no money. And them say me soon have to run away, but them a dream. Not nice, them say me clothes them never clean. And me nah live 17, but now me clothes them never clean. From me get the big sack when me see me have to say, all of this coming like it's a dream. Yeah. All of this coming like it's a dream. Yeah. All of this coming like it's a dream. Dream. Yeah. All of this coming like it's a dream. Yeah. All of this coming like it's a dream. Yeah. All of this coming like it's a dream.
Is Laventille West in the house tonight? Is Laventille East Mama in the house tonight? Is Potterston North St. Anne's West in the house tonight? Is anybody from the People's National Movement in the house tonight? Brothers and sisters, I see my family, I see my friends, I see my neighbors, I see Laventille West, and I want to tell all you that I love all you so much. Brothers and sisters, I have a serious discussion to have with you all tonight. Because you see, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. Allow me to recognize the Honorable Stuart Richard Young, SC, MP, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And let me tell you something about my Prime Minister. Because you see, my Prime Minister is also my big brother. Anyone who knows me and knows the events that I keep will know that this Honorable Prime Minister makes it to every single event that we have. My Prime Minister didn't need, I know Special Branch drove him here, but my Honorable Prime Minister did not need ways to find success in Laventille Secondary School. And that is why, brothers and sisters, when the night of April the 28th, 2025 reach, we will join my Prime Minister in his constituency, where our headquarters is held in Ballizy House, when we will all shout and scream, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. Brothers and sisters, allow me to recognize a gentleman who has served this country for over 30 years. A gentleman who has served with honor, with integrity, with decency. My Member of Parliament for Laventille West, the Honorable Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines. Allow me, brothers and sisters, to recognize the Honorable the Honorable Amory Brown, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Allow me to recognize, of course, my brother who is going to beat them going and coming in Laventille East and make sure they lost the deposit. A young man who we should all be well pleasing. Soon to be the Honorable Christian Birchwood. And although he is not here, brothers and sisters, allow me to recognize a brother who I hold very, very close to my heart. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Laventille East Mover, the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development. My brother, we standing 10 toes down with you, brother, because great is the PNM and we love you. Allow me to recognize, I am an alderman in the Port of Spain City Corporation. Allow me to recognize my mayor, His Worship Chinua Allen. Deputy Political Leader of the People's National Movement, Mr. the Honorable Rohan Sinanan, Minister of Works and Transport. Allow me to recognize my campaign manager. And the chairman of the San Juan Laventille Regional Corporation. Of course, Alderman Richard Walcott. My councillors, members of the movement, allow me to recognize the matriarch of the People's National Movement, Auntie Joan. Mr. Indar Pastor, Ms. Irene Hines. Allow me to recognize one more person before I go. A woman who, because of her hard work, of her dedication, she was not rich with dollars and cents, but she was rich in morals and values. She is my warrior princess. She is my queen. She is my legend. And she is my mother, Shoma Bernadette Wilson. All right. Brothers and sisters, with all these salutations, allow me to get to some business here tonight. Because you see, it's Laventille West. There is no place like home. I just heard the Honorable Prime Minister make a unilateral decision and decide to extend my time by 5 minutes for the salutations. So we taking back that, Honorable Prime Minister. Brothers and sisters of Laventille West, my name is Curry Marcel. I am Curry Marcel, and I hail from the beautiful community of Beetham Gardens. I am 30 years of age. I was born, raised, and live in Beetham Gardens, which form part of the most resilient constituency in Trinidad and Tobago, Laventille West. Before I get on to deal with business that affects Trinidad and Tobago, I want to tell you about the things I intend, just some of the things I intend to do for you as your next Member of Parliament for Laventille West. Brothers and sisters, some of you may know that I am an attorney at law by profession. It is because of the community that raised me that I was able to become the first attorney at law from Beetham Gardens. Brothers and sisters, I certainly will not be the last. One of the very first things I want to commit to you, because you raised me, because when I didn't have money to go to school, I could have gone by a neighbor, I could have gone by an uncle, I could have gone in the shop by myself and trust juice and water until my mother get paid next week. Because of that, I want to tell you here today that although I am stepping into a new role, that I am committing that once every month, as your member of parliament, that I would offer free civil legal consultation and services to the constituency of Laventille West. If you are from Laventille West and you want to do a deed poll, make an appointment by your member of parliament because you send him and you raise him. Brothers and sisters, if you are having land matters and tenure issues, I am telling you, check your member of parliament. Brothers and sisters, on March 13, 2012, I almost lost my life to gun violence. This is a serious issue that I must address. It was my mother's birthday. I was sitting on the back. Phase 1 and 3 was warring, phase 4 and 5 on Beetham Gardens. I am seeing almost everyone who was on that bench with me. I seen Lawrence, I seen Junior, and a few others. And warring fraction, before you know it, someone who they mistake for me, who was also a neighbor that I grew up with, who just came and collect food for me. They probably tell him that he was right sitting down on a bench, ride a bike, go on his way. He's now deceased. He didn't die that night. But soon after, 5 gunmen came on the backstretch in Beetham Gardens Phase 3 and opened fire on me and, of course, my group of friends. None of us was involved in crime. None of us was involved in wrongdoing. But brothers and sisters, these are the consequences. Could you imagine, brothers and sisters, had I lost my life today? Had I lost my life that day, brothers and sisters, then Beetham Gardens would not have had its first attorney at law in 2022. Maybe at a late. I would not have been, brothers and sisters, I would not have been the first alderman in the Port of Spain City Corporation from Beetham Gardens. And I would not have been your next member of parliament. So brothers and sisters, I want to tell you that we must bond together. We must ensure a safer Laventille West. We must ensure a safer East Port of Spain. And we must ensure a safer Trinidad and Tobago. The government have put a lot of plans and programs in place. And the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, under the stewardship of our Honorable Prime Minister, is going to continue to invest in our young people. And I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that it is because of PNM plans and policies that after that night, I was able to achieve my goals and become all that I have become, brothers and sisters. So when, brothers and sisters, I hear on the other side that they are trying to convince us by using people who look like us to tell us that the PNM has no plan and policy for our young people, then I tell them, most respectfully, Mrs. Passad Bissessa, we don't want to hear you. The UNC brothers and sisters, they're getting on as if they never won, you know. They won in 2010. But when they won in 2010, I remember as a young man in Beetham Gardens. Uncle Clayton is here? If my Uncle Clayton is here. I remember on Beetham Gardens, if you can recall, during a state of emergency, there were police buses lined up left, right, and center during in the 2011 state of emergency. And anybody, you didn't have to have a look. All you had to be was black and from Beetham, Laventille, Picton, Junction, Maloney, La Hocketa, Duncan Street, Temple Street, Sealots. So when Mrs. Passad Bissessa is trying to talk to us and tell us that when she wins, we will win, we know that we must reject that. Because in that state of emergency, we lose. We lose in Laventille West. We lose in Laventille East. We lose in Port of Spain North. We lose in Port of Spain South. We lose in La Hocketa. We lose in Maloney. We lose in Arima. We lose on the train line in San Fernando. So don't take that tie up. When they show you who they are the first time, believe them. Believe them, brothers and sisters. I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, that in order to foster unity within Laventille West, I pledge as your next member of parliament that I am going to engage in something called the Inter-Community Laventille West Sports and Culture Competition. And I could announce it with authority, because I know that long before my prime minister was prime minister, I could have called him any hour of the night. Partner, bro, I need some sponsorship here. And because he believed in the vision for East Port of Spain, he invested heavily in a lot of my programs that we run in East Port of Spain. So I got a stamp of approval that every July-August vacation, that in Laventille West, we will bring every single community together and we will compete in football, in cricket, in netball, in basketball, in Queen Show. We will break down the borders in Laventille West. We will play football at night in Beetham. We will play basketball at night in Picton. We go play netball in Morris Marshall Court in Chumakak. We will all be one. We will break down all the barriers. Because great is the PNM brothers. Because great is the PNM brothers. Because great is the people's national movement, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, if I continue listing plans here tonight, I am certain that the Prime Minister may start to get a bit worried about where the money coming from. But you have in front of you, brothers and sisters, and in the PNM's campaign, 41 candidates that is full of integrity, led by an honorable Prime Minister who I have every faith and hope in will make Trinidad and Tobago the best version of itself. I believe, brothers and sisters, in this new chapter. I, brothers and sisters, believe that in the last 10 years we are in government, that we had to spend time stabilizing the economy, building the economy, negotiating new gas deals, negotiating new oil deals. And I am saying, brothers and sisters, from an informed view, to put me to work, put your member of parliament in Laventille East to work, and put our Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to work, the Honorable Stuart Richard Young, SC. I believe, brothers and sisters, I believe in this bold new chapter, it will be filled with hope. It will be filled with progress. I believe, brothers and sisters, that we ain't get started yet. Brothers and sisters, this new young, and pun intended, this new young team, pun intended, is going to lift the bar higher and higher. This new young team is going to lift the bar higher and higher. So I ask you in Toko Sangigandi to get on board. I ask you in Arima to get on board. I ask you in La Hoketa to get on board. I ask you in Tunapuna to get on board. I invite you, St. Joseph, to get on board. In Mayaro, I invite them to get on board. In Laventille West, I invite you to get on board. In Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, I invite you to get on board with the People's National Movement. Have faith and confidence in this bold new chapter. Have faith and confidence in it. We are a team that is red. We are a team that is ready. We are a team that is responsible. And when on election night, brothers and sisters, when the polls are closed and the ballot box is opened and the votes are counted, brothers and sisters, I know that I would have made the right choice, because I will be going right across the road in Beetham Excel Government Primary School. I will be the first to vote for myself. I will be voting for myself. I will be voting for the People's National Movement. I will be voting for the new chapter. I will be voting, brothers and sisters, so that when we all come in Balize House, whether you're from East, West, South, North, Central, or Tobago, we will all sing in one clarion voice, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. Thank you, brothers.
Somebody say better not today, God will take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud, going to the convention. And as we walk in 16 and sing, oh Lord, what a session. In the hand was a plan and he started to jam. He hit them bam bam bam. Somebody say you have to like the man, he have a touch of Eric Willam, yeah? We are making no notice mistake. But the opposition get them what take. And when I say okay, you know what I mean. Get the love, it's just first to get back to sleep. We can't fail, licks in their tail. Great is the PNM, it shall be. Sleeping time. Time. Sleeping time. Sleeping time. But we were but all along we celebrate our plurality, equality right across the board. Everybody have a chance. That's why all along every place in tongue we just beat in the dance, talking about the ultra modern social infrastructure. Education become priority one in the national agenda. We are making no notice mistake. And when the opposition get them will take. And when I say okay, you know what I mean. Bring all your foolish people in this country, please. We can't fail. Listen the tail. It is the PNM. time is here. Election time is here. We'll be sweeping everywhere.
Election time is here.
We'll be sweeping everywhere.
Election time is here.
We'll be sweeping everywhere.
Sweeping time.
Sweeping time. Sweeping time. The air was clear, the filthy clear, the delivery was a drill. And the document passed to present plenty years of the PNM. From self-government to independence, republic and status quo. The people applaud, curtain and turn, things that the party do. He said the whole of our world, we are the salt of the earth, no racial or cultural divide. Not like duck and run and all them dirty show they have on the other side. What?
Hallelujah.
We are making no notice mistake. When the opposition get them with taste. And when I say okay, you know what I mean. We sweeping the camera road, they call the shots clean. We can't fail. Listen to thing. Great is the PNM. It shall be.
Sweeping time. 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 Sweeping time.
All year. PNM meeting suite, eh? Man, the PNM suite. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Member of Parliament, soon to be the Member of Parliament for Laventille West, Mr. Kareem Marcel. And of course, bringing some sweet, sweet PNM music for some sweet melodies. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Michael Legaton, the Protector. My friends, this is the part of the meeting where it is time to invite and to welcome our featured speaker. And he is coming to speak to us tonight in a PNM meeting in the heartland of PNM country, to bring for us what you can only get on a PNM platform, and that is political education. He is a practicing attorney at law and has been since 1998, and was admitted to the bar in Trinidad and Tobago, London, the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Antigua and Barbuda. A graduate of the University of Nottingham, he has acquired a wealth of experience in all sorts of law, including civil, commercial, banking, industrial relations, public law, constitutional law, and election petitions. I think the man make for this work. He has appeared as counsel in commissions of inquiry, including the PRCO Commission, the Commission of Inquiry into the Construction Sector, and the Commission of Inquiry into the Hindu Credit Union and CL Financial. Since entering the Parliament in 2014, he He has served as an opposition senator, as minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs, as minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, as Minister of Communications, as Minister of National Security, and as Minister of Energy and Energy Industries. Today, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker serves as the nation's 8th Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. He has come to Laventille tonight to sweep them. He has come to Laventille tonight to beat them and to teach them. He has come to Laventille to remind all of those on the other side that this is PNM country. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the platform tonight the next Member of Parliament for the constituency of Port of Spain North St. Anne's West, your next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Please put your hands together and welcome the Honorable Stuart Richard Young.
A man with energy, always checking for me. Don't let up at all, let's answer when we call.
With ear Kagoro, he always vibrant and is strong, energetic and he young.
When I hear it, I didn't believe it. I went and checked it. They say he read it.
We have a new leader, he's strong with real power. The best in Trinidad, tell them great faces so.
Laventille, good a man with energy, always checking for me. Don't let up at all, let's answer when we call.
What a magnificent place to be in tonight. And thank you for the opportunity to join my family in Laventille West. Allow me to recognize our deputy political leader and our national campaign manager, Minister Rohan Sinanan. Our party officers, Indar Parasaram, Irene Hines, our matriarch, Auntie Joan, and our Member of Parliament for Laventille West, my colleague, the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, as we thank him for over 30 years of service. And what a proud moment. What a proud moment to stand here tonight as the chairman of this great party in our 70th year of existence, and to be flanked by 3 young men. One who is our mayor of the city of Port of Spain, Alderman Chinua Allen. And then 2 young men who at this time, in 2025, have offered themselves for national service with the People's National Movement. Mr. Christian Birchwood for Laventille East Moa, and Mr. Kareem Marcel for Laventille West. My brothers and sisters, and to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, following us tonight live on television, radio, and other platforms. Tonight is a night for a serious and sober conversation. Because you see, tonight is a night where we're a few days away from a choice that is going to determine the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Because on the 28th of April, which is literally a few days away, every citizen who has the right to vote in Trinidad and Tobago has two choices to make. The first choice is a choice to go and vote. And that is not a choice that any of us take for granted. The second choice, after you've chosen to vote, is who you're going to vote for. So tonight I have decided to open up a little bit. I have decided tonight is the time for me to share some stories with Trinidad and Tobago. Because tonight it is important that we in the People's National Movement explain not only to our members and our supporters, but to those who are deciding how to vote on the 28th of April, why we are the right choice for Trinidad and Tobago. So this afternoon, you'd have seen the PNM launch its manifesto, strategically timed to put before the population our vision and our plans for the next 5 years, understanding the times that we live in. But after that, I walked in my constituency when I left Balize House. And I walked from Belmont, up through Gonzales, up into what was formerly part of Laventille West, come back around down Bella Road, back into Belmont. And I have walked Sandy Grande in areas where there's squatting communities. I've walked in Tobago, in Canaan and other areas. I have walked in Chaguanas on a number of occasions. I have walked the train line in San Fernando. I have walked in many, many areas in Trinidad and Tobago that others who are offering themselves up for leadership do not even know how to get to. And I want to start by letting you know the reason why I do that. It is because we in the PNM, and me personally, I recognize the serious responsibility when we're elected to office, that we are there to represent the people of Trinidad and Tobago at every single level of society. And I stand here tonight without any fear of contradiction, letting Trinidad and Tobago know and letting Laventille and Port of Spain South, North, Laventille, East and West know, because you are amongst our party faithfuls, that you are my priority and you are the priority of the government that I lead. The first step in properly understanding what people face is getting down on the ground and interfacing and listening and interacting. So I ask you, how many people offering themselves to lead Trinidad and Tobago now, to be our next Prime Minister, could say that they've gone into East Port of Spain, to say they've gone into Betham, to say that they've gone into housing developments, HDC housing developments that we have all over the country, like the Harp, like Shafford Court, like Port of Spain South, and other areas around Trinidad. How many have walked the ground of Moruga to see where a PNM policy of building houses where before in concrete, where before they were board houses in parts of rural Moruga, PNM policy under this government in the last 9.5 years of an HVIP program introduced a roof over your head, a concrete structure with running water and lights. And that happened starting in Moruga, and it has stretched throughout the breadth of Trinidad. So, brothers and sisters, tonight, let's have a conversation about what we're facing. Because one thing I assure you, the population of Trinidad and Tobago, that I will never do is I will never jeopardize Trinidad and Tobago. I would never support any decision that I know could harm the majority of people in Trinidad and Tobago. I would never stand in front of the population, whether it be at a post-cabinet press conference with the media in front of me or on a sacred PNM platform, and tell anything other than the truth to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But tonight, I've come here once again to warn you. But first, let me tell you how I got involved into politics. Because I'm hearing many people trying to create narratives of who Stuart Young is. In 1998, I returned to Trinidad. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, completely in love with our twin island state, Trinidad and Tobago. At university and when I was doing the bar exams, people said, we have never heard somebody describe their country in the way that you have. And it is because I believe in us. I believe in our citizens and our law-abiding citizens. And when I returned, one of the first things that we were facing in Trinidad at the time was the PRCO corruption and the allegations of corruption. And I put a pin there. As we went on during time, I took a decision. There is no way I would ever support corruption in Trinidad and Tobago because it destroys our country. And you know who hurts the most from corruption? It is our most vulnerable citizens. It is our citizens who earn the least in our population who hurt the most from corruption. So that's the first point. You have to consider and look at who wants to get in office to engage in corruption. But then something happened. I began to do some work for the state, and it allowed me to apply my lawyer talents to represent Trinidad and Tobago in a number of matters. But then something disastrous happened because the population of PNM supporters and people who care about Trinidad and Tobago made a disastrous mistake in 2010. Some decided I'd had enough or not going to vote. We must not do that this time. Others decided to take a chance, to take a risk and to put somebody else, a coalition government in place. And they took a chance with the People's Partnership in 2010 to 15. I want to use a personal story now to remind all of us what will happen, because I went through it. And I know every URP worker, every CPEP worker, every contract worker, and every worker throughout the RHAs, in our hospitals, in the corporations, anywhere they could find a worker who they thought supported PNM, they fired you. You all remember that? So my duty tonight is to remind you of that. But I want you to understand how I know how that feels for you. Because when the UNC came into government in 2010, one of the first things they did was fire me. Many people don't know that. But a UNC government fired me. I was not a member of the PNM. I was not associated with the PNM. But I had done work for a government under the People's National Movement. And by then, I knew that the only party in Trinidad and Tobago that had proper policies and cared about the citizens was the PNM. So by 2010, I had been going to PNM meetings, standing quietly. I didn't even own a PNM shirt, but standing quietly in my red in a corner of wherever you all were meeting. I did it in 2002, 2007, 2010. And I listened to PNM platforms. and it educated me, and I felt a sense of righteousness, a sense of justice. I saw what a PNM Prime Minister during that period in time had a vision to build Trinidad and Tobago. But the message is this: I could stand here without fear of contradiction and tell Trinidad and Tobago and every single person that if the coalition under the UNC gets back in power, they will fire all of us again. So I want you to understand, when I speak from experience, but more importantly, I speak because I care. I do care about Trinidad and Tobago country first, but then about the future of our country and my party, because you've welcomed me in. In 2014, I received a call by the leader, Dr. Rowley, asking whether I would serve as an opposition senator. I never had thought about getting involved in politics, but by then, I had seen enough. I had heard enough. That episode that Kareem Marcel spoke about, 2011 state of emergency, I wrote out against that because I could see it was wrong on how our citizens, and in particular, a certain segment of our citizenry, were being treated. And you've heard the live story here of the experience of young Kareem Marcel. So tonight I come before you, asking you for the honor, asking you for the opportunity, asking you for the ability to fight for Trinidad and Tobago on your behalf and on your children's behalf from a PNM platform, leading a PNM government to make sure that Trinidad and Tobago not only survives, but thrives. So I have come here tonight asking for you, the citizens, to vote across 41 constituencies for what is right for Trinidad and Tobago, the People's National Movement. And I am warning us not to be fooled again. We saw it in 1986 with a coalition government. We saw it in 2010, and they are offering it again in 2025. Don't be fooled. You have heard the conversation in the past few weeks. You have seen the billboard of promises. Public servants, 10 to 14%. Cut tax, cut VAT, cut property tax, reduce corporation tax, give your laptops, give your baby grants. You've also heard from a PNM platform how much that would cost Trinidad and Tobago. But more than a PNM platform, you have heard independent economists. And last night, or the night before in La Horquetta, I read out one of our #1 reporters in business reporting asking Kamla where the $18 to $20 billion would come from. They will bankrupt Trinidad and Tobago, and it is important that you understand that, because that needs to direct your attention, your decision to go to the polls. Take nothing for granted on the 28th, but importantly, to choose who is going to guide the country out of the waters we're in, where you're seeing difficulties in the world right now. Not only here, cost of living is going up. You're seeing what is coming out of the largest, most powerful country in the world, as well as what is happening by China, the second most powerful economy in the world. That affects us, it affects you, it affects you, it affects all of us. So you need to decide who is best placed to manage our country, who is best placed to manage our energy sector and ensure a future for our little children that we've seen here tonight. A future that a school like Success Laventille could continue to have free education. And when you look at our manifesto, you will see what we intend to do with the money that we have and where we will find a little bit more to expand in meaningful ways. It is not only the PNM warning you. Everyone with sense and sensibility are warning us about what would happen if you vote the UNC and their disastrous poison pill and their promises which are poison to Trinidad and Tobago. But I need you to understand this as well. The only way they could afford it, as I have said, as Anthony Wilson said, and as economists said, is by taking us to the IMF, which means loss of jobs. They will cut the subsidies on our gas. They will cut the free education. They will cut the free health care. You can't get CDAP in the hospitals anymore. Free transportation gone. All of the grants gone. Electricity rates will be raised. Cut jobs in the public service. That is where the UNC and that coalition will lead you. But tonight I want to show you here in Laventille how it would affect you, that plan, by some of the items that you have to buy now to feed your families. So I ask that we put up what the cost of goods would be with the UNC plan in place of a devaluation and taking us to the IMF. Look at it. The price of flour will go from $18 to $40. The price of rice will go from $29 to $64. Notice, they have not been able to respond to that. I have shown you before that is their plan in writing, and that is what their leader said in Parliament. Look at how it will affect us. Oil that we all need to cook will go from $21 to $50. Curry powder from $12 to $26. And our salaries will be worth more. So if we're going to listen to their lies and their fantasies, that is what will hit all of us in our pocket. And it will hit our vulnerable, low-income people the hardest because they don't care about us. Let that sink in. But their response, which is where I want to go, the response of Kamala initially was a bumbling, no, that is not our plan. And then when they were confronted with it, she says, that's an old plan. Tanku jump out and say, no, that's an old plan. So then everyone asked, well, how would you afford the $18 to $20 billion? Did you all listen to the response? The first response, we'll cut corruption. We'll cut expenditure. We have a plan. Let me tell you all what they did. In 2010, our annual budget, the amount of money we could spend in the country, was around $40 billion. They came in and met $40 billion, was running the country properly in 2010. Everything was being run. There was no bankruptcy in sight. By the time they left in 2015, they added over $20 billion a year to the budget. So I am telling you that to show you that their track record is they cannot cut. They almost doubled expenditure. They went up by 50% to $60 billion. You need to take this on board. They talk about cut corruption. Well, we all know the court cases and how much corruption there was. So then the population asked, the sensible people asked Kamala, they asked the UNC, what is your plan to raise money? They cannot give a plan. She says, I have a plan. She says, we know how we will raise it. We can't hear it up to now. So you know what we did? We went to search and see what the plan was. And tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, I am going to provide Trinidad and Tobago with evidence of what the UNC's plan is if God is taken out of our thoughts and they and their coalition government come into power. It is going to lead to job losses. They're going to come and slash jobs across every state enterprise. If you don't believe me, I would like you all to take a listen and a look at Kamala and the UNC's plan.
The first 90 days, 1, we will will prepare a divestment plan for the state enterprises and a debt workout strategy for those enterprises. The first 90 days. 1. We will prepare a divestment plan for the state enterprises and a debt workout strategy for those enterprises. Further, we will transform the remaining state enterprises to publicly owned companies.
If you don't understand what that is, what that UNC plan from their leader is, it means that they're going to sell out every state enterprise they could, take the money, is not going to help any of us. The first thing private companies will do is get rid of all the workers and shut down everything and bring in who they want. And I guarantee you it ain't going to be us. I want to show you now which companies they will target and what they're going to do.
First 90 days. 1. We will prepare a divestment plan for the state enterprises and a debt workout strategy for those enterprises. The government should be in business. Let the private sector and the businessmen do the business in Trinidad and Tobago.
So Trinidad and Tobago, you have been warned. You have heard it once again, live and direct with the evidence, what their plan is. And I ask you, go and look at what they did towards the end of their 2015 term. They did exactly that. They were the first ones to take shares in FCB and put it on the public market. They were also the ones that started using NGC and its assets on National Gas Company and watering down the value. Trinidad and Tobago, that is the third part of their plan. Job losses, layoffs, and the destruction of state enterprise in Trinidad and Tobago. So tonight you have a choice to make on the 28th of April. Tonight, the People's National Movement, in its responsible manner, delivered a manifesto in record time to the population of Trinidad and Tobago. It is a comprehensive plan that addresses how we are going to help the most vulnerable of our citizens, how we are going to make sure that what we have could be spread amongst those who need it the most. And a big part of our plan, which is a reality, is making things more efficient. And I stand here tonight as the Prime Minister and tell you, when you read this document, you will see how we are addressing our young people, because we know our youth need help. We know our youth are calling out for help. You have seen the establishment of the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service under Minister Foster Cummings. You have seen us work hard to reintroduce youth camps that the UNC closed down. You have seen us introduce new programs for our youth. I can stand here tonight and tell you that the Cabinet took decisions across Trinidad and to start in Tobago to increase MILAT, to increase CCC, but also in communities. We are going to have dedicated community centers like the one that was just completed in Bachelor Street in Port of Spain South, East Port of Spain, to allow persons to come there and train, whether it be air condition repairs, train in masonry, train in aquaculture, train in hydroponics, train our nail technicians, and these types of programs to help our young people. These are real programs. When you read our manifesto, you hear them trying to terrorize our senior citizens about pension. I have stood on every platform I can as the Prime Minister to say, and I've put it to rest, the PNM not touching your pension. We're not taking your pension down. We're not shifting the goalpost. Your pension is safe with the PNM. But we recognize the difficulties in people getting their pension. How many public servants have to wait sometimes years to get a pension you've worked hard for and to deserve? Our manifesto and our plan is to make pensions more accessible, to automate the process using technology. So a year in advance of retirement, you will be told you're going to retire, confirm the information. 3 months before you retire, you'll be asked to confirm it again. They have no more stupidness about I'll lose your file. And then you will get your pension within the time you're supposed to, which is within 3 months, to make sure that our senior citizens are properly looked after with an automated pension system. That is real. That will affect and improve your life. We are looking to eradicate you having to go into an office to line up and to take documents to get your pension. This is one of the initiatives that the next PNM government that you will vote in on the 28th of April is going to deliver to our senior citizens. We have also put in place Dial a Ride to those who cannot afford it, to take you to the healthcare centers, to take you for your hospital visits. These are the real caring things that we will deliver. This morning, somebody started a conversation asking, how are we going to look after the most vulnerable, for example, people on disability grants, where we already know that the disability grant is given to those in need of it. But when you have a disability grant and then somebody in the household gets a temporary job, and then they go and cancel the disability grant. Or you have a food card and somebody have 14 days work, or one of your children trying to better themselves but still living under your roof gets a job and they take away your food card. You will see in this manifesto, this PNM manifesto, that we are reforming that to prevent that from happening, because we recognize how that affects you. And that is the benefit of a government and a leader who walks the ground through the length and breadth of Trinidad, who listens to colleagues at Cabinet, who knows after 9.5 years what are the things that really affect our citizens. It is here in black and white. We will reform the food support and disability grant systems to better protect and empower families. Current systems can penalize beneficiaries for minor income increases or short-term employment, creating a system where you don't want to go and get that job. We are going to eradicate that and make sure you've already heard. We're going to double the number of food cards. We're going to increase the book grants. These are the things that the citizens can afford for you. The PNM government is going to ensure that all of our citizens, when you go for government services, are treated with dignity, because that is what we deserve. Let me give you another story. So tonight, I had an interaction with a young woman. She came to bring something for me. A few minutes later, unknown to me, somehow she got my phone number. This came through at 7:30 as I was preparing to come here. And allow me to read this message to you. Good night, Honorable Prime Minister Stuart Young, SC. I don't mean to bombard you and be intrusive, but this is, and she gives her name, who just, and she says what she just did, how she interacted with me. And then she goes on to say, I would have applied for teaching via the Ministry of Education a while now, since 7 years now. But my documents were lost. I reapplied last year, still no call received. I have my degree in primary education, my teacher's number, etc. I know this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I decided to message you. And then she asked me to have a blessed night, be safe, and tells me that she read and ready. I just met this young lady in a half-a-minute interaction, and that is what she sent to my phone because I'm accessible. And it proves the point that I'm standing up here tonight to make from Laventille, that these decisions that we're taking in the next government and we're implementing are decisions that will change everyday lives, and that conversation will be a thing of the past. And we are going to ensure that on your behalf. So our young people with qualifications, whose parents have sacrificed the same way that Sherma did for young Kareem. And Sherma, I applaud you. I applaud Sherma. And let me use that as an opportunity to point out something that disgusts me about those on the other side and their personalized attacks. We stand there proud as a party tonight based on Eric Williams' policy that we have grown, we have nurtured from then to now as PNM, that a young mother like Sherma Wilson could dream the best for her children, dream the best for young Kareem Marcel, guide him into PNM policy, that today we could stand here proud, the first lawyer of Beetham Gardens, and a young man who will be a success. And that is not an unusual story. I looked in the crowd tonight and I saw our mayor's mother, Dr. Allen, who spent a lifetime in the neonatal ward of Port of Spain and in the country, saving babies' lives. She too did the same thing, guided her children, that tonight she has successful children. And you're the youngest? The youngest child now is the mayor of Port of Spain. The People's National Movement lift those types of stories in celebration. But I have had to spend the last 9.5 years, because I look a little different, I might speak a little different, but I am a Trinbagonian, and have Kamala Persad-Bissessar and all of the UNC attack my father, attack my brother, attack my loved ones in the most disgusting of manners. And I stand here tonight on a platform asking the sensible people in Trinidad and Tobago who care about Trinidad and Tobago to reject that type of behavior and join the People's National Movement in doing what is right for Trinidad and Tobago. And we have so many of these success stories in the People's National Movement, and you never hear us denigrate those who are related to our political opponents. Those things should not be left unnoticed. You will look at the manifesto. My colleagues now are going to take this manifesto and go out into 41 constituencies, and we're going to speak about it. Let me quickly touch on education, because one lesson we learned in COVID is that our young children now learn better on tablets and from visual. It is no longer only about a classroom with books and a blackboard as we knew it, but they learn on their tablets and their phones. The next PNM government that I will lead from the 29th of April is going to introduce a free on-demand learning platform called EduFlix, where our children now can look on their tablets, look on your phones, and get their lessons in an easy-to-understand format. So when they come home from school, they could get the lessons. And that is going to be free, free, and it will touch the lives of all our students who want it. That is how you deliver proper policy in a caring manner to affect many lives, because we don't believe in one sector of society getting all of the advantages. Also, we have recognized times have changed. Our children now go through a lot more challenges than we may have done. There's a lot more stress in the world on children. Social media, cyberbullying, all sorts of access to information that we didn't have when we were growing up. So we are going to introduce in our school system psychosocial support and mental health initiatives into the school criteria to enhance the existing systems, to give our children the opportunities to say something isn't right, to be assessed and for us to assist them. It will not only be for a certain sector of society. These are the types of initiatives you will find in our bold new chapter, because what we're seeking to do is take Trinidad and Tobago forward. We're going to write a new chapter with your help. But the only way we can do this is to do it together. You will see at the start, our intention is to leave no one behind, to look after our senior citizens, our children, our youth, to introduce housing programs. None of this rubbish standing up on a platform and saying you're going to build 500 houses a week. Don't be fooled by that nonsense. You will read this and you will see we're also going to focus on after-school activities for our children. We recognize we need to get our children back into sport, back into after-school assistance with their homework. So that is how we will prioritize the spend of our money. And there are many, many other things. Let me just touch briefly on what we're going to do with our HDC communities, because I have it in mind. I have in Port of Spain North, the Shafford Court, the Harp, the Wilands, the St. Francois Planning, and in every one of our communities, we have these housing developments now that need work, they need maintenance. This PNM government is going to ensure through local content laws in our public procurement that the communities do the work. We're not going to allow people to come in, take over and do the work. I want you to do the work in your own community. I want, when I walk the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago, that I see people who live in these communities, the young men, the young women, doing the work in the communities to maintain it, to upgrade it, so we could be proud people. We are going to ensure that that happens. We are going to turn our focus onto maintenance as opposed to building new office buildings. Let us provide the jobs to those who need it to come in and maintain what we've already built. Not in the housing area, infrastructure. We're going to maintain it. These are some of the ideas, some of the plans that we are putting forward. When we ask you on the 28th of April, when you wake up in the morning after you say your prayers, you brush your teeth, you drink your cocoa or your coffee or your tea, and you decide you're going to vote, that you call all your friends, all your family and tell them, hey, we have to go and vote. We are asking you, give us the opportunity to work with you and for you and together with you to write the new chapter. I am standing here tonight once again, giving my personal commitment to do what is right for Trinidad and Tobago, and in particular for those who have no voice, those who serve and get served the most injustice, and to fight for our citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is what we're doing right now. We are fighting against those on the other side who are intent on destroying Trinidad and Tobago. So I ask you tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, think carefully. Don't be fooled, because there are a lot of people who are concerned about radio ads and TV ads and what you're seeing on social media. All of that, and this yellow is the code stupidness, all of that is designed to distract you from doing what is right. But I have faith in Trinidad and Tobago, the same way you have faith in me and a PNM government. I have faith that with God on our side, you will make the right choice on the 28th of April. So yesterday, myself and the Minister of Finance met with a number of representatives of different bodies very quietly. I didn't publish it, but I saw the Nurses Association publish that they met with me. I want to tell the nurses of Trinidad and Tobago here tonight, from Laventille West and from Success Laventille School, where we have produced a lot of nurses from these areas, some of who have gone away. Our nurses, I am giving you the commitment here tonight, having listened very carefully to your association and having done the calculations, there are two things that we are going to address as the next government for our nurses, because I understand the nurses have concerns. Listen carefully tonight. The first is nursing students. Right now, there are three categories of nursing students in Trinidad. Those in the government program under COSTAT, those who are at University of Southern Caribbean, and those who are at UE. The COSTAT nurses receive a stipend that helps them when they have to do their work on the ward, to be able to travel to work and to be able to finish their studies. The UE students and the USC students don't receive it. I am telling the nursing students tonight, and I first was told this story when I was traveling on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago, fighting for Trinidad and Tobago, and a young nursing student walked with me to the plane in a foreign country. Nursing students tonight, the next PNM government that I intend on leading from the 29th of April will address this, and the students in UE and USC will get the same stipend as those in COSTAT. It was also brought to my attention yesterday that the nurses working for the RHAs across the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago have not had their salaries looked at and adjusted since 2013. Will I stand here tonight as the 8th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and tell our nurses who have given yeoman service, who save lives and who look after us in the hospitals and the healthcare centers, that this morning I gave instructions that that be fixed and that the CPO look at giving our nurses increases from 2013. We heard about it for the first time yesterday. I heard about it, discussed it with the Minister of Finance, and that is what is going to take place with our nurses. Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. Our men and women who serve in the Defense Force, who serve, put their lives on the line to save our lives, to protect us, whether it be in the Coast Guard, it be in the regiment, it be in the Air Guard. I looked at it as the Minister of National Security, Minister Hines, Minister Gonzalez now. They have to retire at young ages. So the first set retire at the age 45, another category at 47, another at 50, and another at 55. That is old law and archaic. Now in today's day, today's world with medical health and keeping fit and wellness, we could get a lot more out of the money we've invested in training our servicemen, but also their service. And God knows we are at a time that we need every boot on the ground fighting that criminal element. So tonight, I tell our men and women in the Defense Force that the next PNM government is going to give consideration to raising the age of retirement for our servicemen and women. Because we recognize now more than ever, you still have good years of service ahead of you. We're going to look at the introduction of conditions that you get medical clearance and whatever else needs to do and be done. But that is how you run a country responsibly and tackle more than one issue in one fell swoop. So ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, tonight I promise sober conversation, serious conversation. And I am asking you to very, very carefully consider between now and the 28th, you have an obligation to vote. You might be voting for yourself. Vote for your children, vote for your grandchildren, vote for your parents. And I stand here tonight, along with 40 of my other colleagues who have put ourselves forward, to you, the population, in Tobago East, Tobago West, Port of Spain North, Port of Spain South, Laventille East, Laventille West, Chaguanas East, Chaguanas West, San Fernando East West, Toco Sandy Grande, Aruca Maloney, or Trin City Maloney as it's now called, all of the Diego Martins, every single constituency, Labre, Point Fortin, Urupuch East, Urupuch West, Carney East, Carney Central, 41 constituencies. You have the opportunity to choose what is right for Trinidad and Tobago. You have the opportunity, and I am asking you, give me the mandate to stand as your bulletproof vest in front of that bag of scoundrels. Give me the mandate to fight for you. Give me the mandate to fight for Trinidad and Tobago. Give me the mandate to make sure this is the PNM government's policy. And on the 28th of April, go out and vote for the People's National Movement. And on the 28th of April, join me and join my colleagues and join everyone at Barley's House as we say, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the PNM family, thank you very much. Let us put our hands together.
This is the time.
And thank
I said this is
our
the
8th
time.
Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Stuart Richard Young. We're asking those in our listening and viewing public to stick around because we are going to be moving now to our meeting in Diego Martin, where our political leader, Dr. Keith Rowley, has or is about to take the stage. If you would like to view the meeting, you can also join us live on YouTube, on PNM TV. This is the People's National Movement. Thank you all very much for coming. And we'd like to introduce tonight to sing for us a young man that we know very well from the community of Maloney, Akeem Chance, also known as Pretty.
This is the time.
Yeah.
I said this is the time.
Always not stand up thing, you know.
Ready, ready.
Start to wave now.
This is the time. This is the place. The future is here. No time to waste. We build on the strength of those who trod this road before. Coming again. Cause I feel the light shining so bright in the heart and we soul. Red, black and white. Together we strong. Come sun, no rain. Cause it's blood and we face. We already say. You don't know we ready already. The kingdom set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we ready already. The kingdom set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Whoa. Tell them we all in, whoa.
movement is forward. We all want the same thing. Together we aspire, so we must achieve. Call the red army, the whole of TNT. So show them we red already. The thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Don't know we red already. The thing done set already. Tell them we all in, we all in, we all in. Tell them we all in. Just tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Tell them we all in. Fire in the soul.
Whoa, tell me all in. Tell me all in. Tell me all in. Tell me all in. Louder sing it now. Whoa, tell me all in. Tell me all in. Tell me all in. Tell me all in. Everybody say, Ole, meet and roll. Ole, meet and roll. When the street in me, meet and roll. When the street in me, meet and what to do, let me just.
Ole, meet and roll. Ole, meet and roll. Ole, meet and roll.
This is a new chapter. Join us on the road to victory. On Thursday, April 17th, Moruga. Meet us at St. Mary's Recreation Ground. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.